Hello?
So,
Hey, hi.
I was
What is
mute. I
it?
had no clue. It was prompting me to log into
No
uh,
problem. I guess it's as good a time as any we can get started. Vidya, if you're ready, we can.
yeah, okay, good. We'll get started. Very good morning and good afternoon to everyone across the world. I'm pretty sure some of you have seen what we're going to cover today. One is, of course, the product updates. We want to keep transparent approach to what we have done with the M365 and Google Workspace. What progress has been made, and I'm happy that many partners are giving us constant feedback, so we are able to kind of include it in our development cycle. Last but not the least, there are a couple of stability and infra updates where we want to focus on, kind of provide a better experience when the product is used. So this is one of the things which we are working on. I'll cover it towards the end, but over to Barsha to cover the other updates.
Thank you, Shrividya. Good morning, good evening, everyone. So I'll start with the production updates. The first one in the list is segregation of external and internal vulnerabilities. So till now, we had all the vulnerabilities clubbed together, and now we have segregated them, mostly the internal vulnerabilities or the network scan vulnerabilities, and the external vulnerabilities, which includes the vulnerabilities identified via external assets. So this is more of ease of visibility and requests that came across from a few of our partners. So we made this change in the UI. The next one is pod-wise display of IP whitelisting. So till now we have all this information in the documentation for each of the pods. What are the whitelist URLs? But we are also displaying this now within the portal. Again, this is ease of reference for our users. So all of this information is now available in the info icon. So you need not have to go to the documentation to refer back to this. All right. The third one is we have added the new event for medium severity vulnerability found in the ticketing template. So earlier this was missing in the event subtype while creating templates. So now the medium severity vulnerability as well as the low severity vulnerability has been added to the ticketing template. So once configured, tickets will get created for this problem event as well. The next one on the UI update is the max asset count or the high watermark, as we know. So we are showing this information, this count of asset in the plan and billing section. Again, this refers to the maximum count of asset in the current month, and it records that number and displays it in the UI. So you can find this information in the plan and billing section. We had the current asset count, that is a regular update, which shows, and the max asset count is the count, is the count when it was highest in the month. So currently it shows for our current month, 3596 is the highest asset count that was recorded till now for the month of Feb. So yeah, these were a few of the production updates. We also released the agent yesterday, and we have a good list of fixes that we have released this time. A few of them I would just want to highlight. In the software and system updates, we released a fix wherein every 8 hours by default, the agent will be sending the entire software data. However, this interval can be adjusted through a setting in agent setting. But by default, we'll be doing this 8 hours because we had a couple of issues wherein there were missing of software information. So this fix will make sure that we no longer encounter missing of software data within Connect Secure. The second one in this category is the remote installation. So we have, we know that during running scans for remote install agents, since it's a time-taking process, and many a times in between, if the agent restarts, so the scan resumes again from the beginning, and this goes in an indefinite loop. So what we have done is that, so in scenarios wherein the agent restarts, we are maintaining that scan state. And once the agent restarts, the scan resumes from the point wherein it had stopped. So the scenario of going in a loop will no longer prevail. We also made some fixes in the Active Directory data upload, especially wherein the data size is huge. So many a times the data upload fails via the API or NATs. So we'll be doing it by uploading it to R2. And the security and compliance section, we have modified the OS query to improve detection of Apache Tomcat service, which was earlier not getting detected as it's a service. So we have made sure we have improved and modified the OS query to detect this service. Under the data retention and integrity, this is an important fix that we have rolled out, wherein even after the agent gets uninstalled, again, there are two ways by which we can uninstall the agent. One is from the Connect Secure portal and one is from the self machine. So this is, I'm talking of the second scenario wherein if the agent is uninstalled from the self machine, the data, the assets identified, everything is retained within the portal. It will show the agent as offline, but the data will remain there and it will be retained till the deprecation setting gets applicable. So that was under data retention. And last but not the least, we have also implemented an OS cap for detecting Cloud Linux vulnerability. So this is similar to Red Hat and Ubuntu OS. We are detecting these vulnerabilities earlier, which we're not doing. And with that, the agent release list is completed. So next, I move to cloud assessment updates. For M365, as already stated in the last meeting, we have completed the minimum permissions required for the assessment, conditional access policies, MFA details, all of it to be captured within the assessment, license filtering, especially related to P1 or P2 licenses. So we are left with event notifications. So this was an feedback which we received, that the notifications that today we are creating are mostly for the findings of the assessment. However, there should be notifications related to the events. So that is something which we are working on, and we are planning to start the development next week. For the upsell by MSP client access, as in showing the module for specific clients, this is not planned in our next, in our future roadmap. As of now, we may probably consider it later, but nothing in the next 2 quarters. With the Google Workspace, so again, this is as part of our feedback. We have implemented alerting, and this alerting includes not only the findings from the assessment, but also the events, something similar to what was asked in M365. So we thought we'll implement first for Google Workspace, and then we will implement the same in M365 as well. So basically, as you can see, the alerts, they say that the user email that authorized a third-party application, calendar event modified by, so these blank areas are basically the user email will get populated of whoever is doing the action. For device sync, we are showing the name of the device. Again, for requesting access, X user requested drive access from Y user. Login successful detected for X user. So all of these events we are capturing and showing as alerts. We'll also be doing the same for findings of the assessment for Google Workspace. So with that, I'm done with the updates. Over to Sri Vidya for some stability improvements that we have done over the past 1 month or maybe couple of months.
Yeah, so as any engineering organization, we do have a pipeline of features which we keep working on, but it's also very critical that we have a tech backlog which we keep kind of reviewing it and make sure we improvise over the period of time. So this was something which was, I think we were a little behind because of the V3 migration, but having said that, I think a couple of the things which you have taken up very actively and will be almost completing it very, within the next month or so. One is the first is the AD audit. So just to probably this is a little technical, but I'm sure this is going to help the larger audience. And especially I know many of the partners, I know Dennis from WhatsApp has had issues with the AD audit many times coming back to us. So the point is we were using a traditional database as of today, right? So yes, it worked well, but the issue was we were trying to kind of run too many queries on the Active Directory database and stuff like that. So what happened was it was even slowing down the existing queries which didn't require AD audit. So as part of that, we have moved into a new analytical database which stores stuff in a very efficient format called the Parquet format, and that's called the DuckDB. So this has been rolled out. We had to kind of test this really well and roll it out. So this has been done last weekend. And I won't say, is there any change from the partner perspective? Not. But definitely in terms of the, I'm sure that in terms of performance degradation or any of the issues, we should now kind of be in a better position to address that. So that's one of the things which we have addressed. The second is the scan and the data processing speed. I know there are a lot of the customers who have raised issues on scan delays, scans not happening. So we have looked at deeply as to what we can do. Today we use a messaging system called NATS. But having said that, we are kind of moving to a better message delivery system, which is called the RabbitMQ, which we feel it's a much more powerful in terms of how it deals with the persistent queues and how it deals with the queuing mechanisms. So that is something which is in the pipeline. Again, requires some rigorous amount of testing. So the team is on it. The third one is schedulers. Definitely on the first of the month, we have seen patterns where some of the reports get missed, right? I know we kind of mitigated that last year, but I think at the end of the day, it has to perfectly work to a large extent. So we had these tiny clusters, but now we'll be moving to a larger decron cluster with enough fault tolerance. So that's something which is another thing in the pipeline. So the impact is going to be, I won't say anything on the UI, but at the same time, as we progress, we are going to work on these very critical pieces where the stability and the reliability of the platform is going to be very important. And we are going to spend, the engineering is going to spend a significant amount of time to ensure this is going to work well and scale well, right? And that's at the end of the day, we want partners to use our system seamlessly. So I just wanted to give this update. And of course, there are other things in the pipeline which probably I will share in the next meeting. But these are the three things which are going to be actively worked on, and one of them is already done. And we'll be ensuring that we do not cause any hiccups in production, and it's going to be well tested and rolled out. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the slides for today. You can unshare and we can take up some questions if the team has. Um, so
Yeah, a couple of questions. Dennis and Eric, Vidya, you want to address it?
Oh, Dennis, surely you please create a support ticket, because that should not happen, right? That's something which it should just get auto updated seamlessly. If you see that, please send us a ticket and DM me as well. Um, Srikanth, I'm not sure about the webinar around the RMM agent.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure that we'll potentially look at integration with RMMs. Right now, we do integrate with I think 4 or 5 of the RMMs that are popular. But there, the objective is more to roll out our agent easily using the RMMs. That is the current engineering objective. Pulling data from RMM is something that we are not, embarked on yet. So yeah, let me check in with Shiva, who probably is the person who, said that at that point. So let me double check with him, and in a subsequent call, I will certainly share an update on that. And then so yeah, Eric, I'll get back. And Wendell has what is the shortest time that we can enable for the agent to update information?
I'm assuming like you want to bring the agent online and then upgrade it and shut it off. As I said, it's a rollover update, so it generally takes 24 to 48 hours. That's the ideal time. But what we have seen is last few updates, it's just happened in 24 hours. So the minimum is 24 hours, I would say, Wendell, if that's the question you asked. Okay, I think we have missed some.
Vidya, there is an updated question from Wendell.
Yeah, I'll just reply to her. Probably, Srikanth, you go over the other questions. Can we get a summary of the session so we can share with our team? Srikanth, are you there? Will you be taking or shall I go over it?
So the last question I see is from Wendell, which says, what
No,
the
I think,
shortest?
no. I think before there were some questions. Can we get a summary of the session so we can share with our team? We do the recordings. If you want the text, that's something probably we are okay. We can probably feed into the AI and get you something, Alex. That's something we'll take it as an action item next time.
There's another question on best practice for allowing patching for clients utilizing ThreatLocker.
Ryan, I think this probably is in your area. I think we were working with ThreatLocker on how to do this, right? So,
Yeah.
would you?
Yeah, that's right. So we worked with ThreatLocker and were able to work with their dev on getting our agents executable added to geofencing to allow our agent to reach out and download the patches necessary.
I think that the issue that we're seeing, Ryan, is that a lot of the patches aren't being deployed via the Connect Secure agent. It's like a PowerShell call to,
Right.
whatever the hosting provider is for the update. And that is not processed with the Connect Secure built-in policy. It's processed with the PowerShell policy. So right now we're going through a process of essentially whitelisting each individual update as it occurs. But it's a bit of an effort. It would be super helpful if there was a way that you guys could sign updates as they were occurring, or if you could execute updates from the Connect Secure agent so that we could reference that process path. But right now we're kind of playing whack-a-mole with any update that's coming through.
So this just might be something we have to really look at offline with you. Again, we have a lot of partners using ThreatLocker and they've got built-in policy for our agent. So if it's something beyond the built-in policy, we might have to just look at it from a different angle, but you should, in theory, be able to use the agent with ThreatLocker, even in the method we use, which is PowerShell, to call down downloads from those URLs, depending on which patches you're applying. If you want to,
what I'm finding is that we block all outbound connections through PowerShell for security reasons. And so we have to go through and whitelist the URLs, which doesn't really work that well in ThreatLocker. So we have lots of tags for IP addresses where I look up IP addresses for the URL. And then the problem is that with load balancing, sometimes the IP addresses are changing. So it's a constant go back and find a new IP address to whitelist so that we can keep our PowerShell security in place and still do the updates.
Yeah, and so I would encourage all the partners here that have ThreatLocker to reach out to ThreatLocker. This new ring fencing development we've just worked through with them was within the last 2 weeks. So there's been some changes. I don't know when the last time you guys have talked or looked at those changes, but I suspect some of this will be resolved with the new changes that we've just worked with them on. And if it's not, I would encourage all the partners that have ThreatLocker to open up a ticket with our support team. We'll get it assigned to myself, and we'll work through the challenges that you're having to make it as seamless as possible. Of course, given the nature of security and the whole principle behind ThreatLocker, we can understand that sometimes it takes a little bit of fine tuning and adjusting to allow these scripts to download. So totally understand that it is an issue, but I would encourage you guys reach out to ThreatLocker because we have made some enhancements on that side of the house with them, maybe that your systems aren't taking advantage of today.
Yeah, do you have any documentation on that work that you did with ThreatLocker? Because that would be super helpful if we could, reference the work that was done to try to get this stuff to be allowed.
Yeah, so I'm working with them to get it documented on both sides. The documentation really needs to exist in ThreatLocker because it's the feature on their tool that's blocking us, and they're allowing it through. And basically what we've done, just so everyone's aware here, our patching agent, the Connect Secure patch agent, has 500 or more domains that it can reach out to and download from. No one's going to sit here and plug in 500 domains to whitelist, right? That can't use it. So ThreatLocker has taken all of the domains that we've provided to them from our private repositories from where we download. They are now aware of all of these domains. So their tool should be able to allow your PowerShell to reach out to any one of those domains that is in that trusted list. So if that's not happening, then we would want to chase it down and figure out why, because there should be a programmatic way to solve this for everyone using both of those tools. But
Okay, thanks, Brian.
Yeah, to confirm, I will make sure that the Connect Secure documentation has the information that we need, and then we'll have a link back to the ThreatLocker KB as well, so that we can kind of tie this all together. We're still working out those details, but that functionality should exist today. Maybe the best kept secret between Connect Secure and ThreatLocker since it's so new in the last couple of weeks. So thank you to whoever brought it up. That was something we didn't put in the discussion that should have been. So thank you to the partner who addressed that.
I think we have answered most of the questions, Srikanth and Ryan.
Okay, yeah. So Eric, quick, it's a good feature idea. We'll certainly look at that on using potentially AI to simplify the reports or something that we can take back to engineering and see if it's put it in our development roadmap at some point. But otherwise, thank you everyone, and really appreciate having you take the time out for these calls. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Bye bye.